Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You know, when you think about it, every single day marks a turning point in history. But there's just something about March 13th, it's like the universe decided to pack this date with a whole lot of cosmic drama. We're talking game-changing discoveries, revolutions, assassinations, even a few close encounters of the celestial kind. Think about it, what connects the discovery of a new planet to a school strike for climate change, or the assassination of a czar to the premiere of a musical masterpiece? On the surface, they seem like random events scattered across time, but if you look closer, you'll see they all speak to something fundamental about us humans. We're driven by this insatiable curiosity to understand our place in the cosmos. We're constantly striving for progress, even if it means challenging the status quo. And sometimes we're forced to confront the darker sides of our nature, so buckle up as we blast off on a journey through time, exploring the events that have made March 13th a date etched in the history books. Let's rewind all the way back to 1781. Back then, our solar system was a much cozier place with only 6 known planets, but all that was about to change, thanks to a musician with a passion for the stars, William Herschel. Now, Herschel wasn't your typical astronomer, he was a composer by trade, and a darn good one at that. But at night, Herschel transformed into a celestial detective, scanning the skies with his trusty telescope. And on March 13, 1781, he stumbled upon something peculiar, a faint, fuzzy object that didn't quite fit in with the usual twinkling stars. At first he thought it was a comet. I mean, comets are fuzzy, right? But after observing it for a while, Herschel realized this thing was moving way too slowly to be a comet. Further calculations confirmed it. It was a planet, twice as far away as Saturn. Can you imagine the excitement? A whole new planet, just hanging out there, waiting to be discovered. This wasn't just any discovery, it was a complete game changer. It doubled the size of the known solar system and forced astronomers to rethink their models of the cosmos. And here's the kicker. Herschel originally wanted to name his discovery Georgium Sidus, after King George III. Can you imagine opening up a textbook and reading about a planet called Georgium Sidus? Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed, and the name Uranus, after the Greek god of the sky, was eventually adopted. It's a good thing too, because Uranus sounds way cooler, don't you think? This discovery reminds us that the universe is full of surprises, just waiting for us to find them. All it takes is a curious mind, a good telescope, and maybe a little bit of luck. Fast forward now to 1829 and let's trade our telescopes for some sheet music. March 13th marks the premiere of one of the most beloved pieces of classical music ever written, Felix Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto in E minor. Now Mendelssohn was a rock star of his time, a musical prodigy who was composing symphonies before most kids learned their ABCs. This concerto, though, it's something special. It's a dialogue between the violin and the orchestra, a conversation that soars with passion, dances with joy, and breaks your heart with its sheer beauty. Imagine sitting in the Gewandhaus concert hall in Leipzig, Germany, on that night in 1829. The lights dim, the anticipation builds, and then, silence. The violin, played by the legendary Ferdinand David, cuts through the air and Mendelssohn's masterpiece comes alive. The music weaves its magic, transporting you to another world, one of pure emotion and sonic brilliance. It's a reminder that music has this incredible power to transcend time and language, connecting us on a deeper level. And just like Herschel's discovery expanded our understanding of the universe, Mendelssohn's concerto expanded the possibilities of music, pushing the boundaries of what a concerto could be. It's a work that continues to inspire and move audiences to this day, a testament to the enduring power of human creativity. So the next time you hear the opening notes of Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto, close your eyes and let yourself be transported back to that night in Leipzig to experience the magic firsthand. You won't regret it. From the sublime melodies of Mendelssohn, we turn to a much darker chapter in history. March 13, 1881, marked the assassination of Tsar Alexander II of Russia. Picture the scene, St. Petersburg, the heart of the Russian Empire. A carriage carrying the Tsar is making its way through the city streets when suddenly an explosion rocks the air. A bomb, thrown by a member of the revolutionary group Narodnaya Volya, explodes near the Tsar's carriage. Miraculously, Alexander II survives the initial blast. He steps out of his damaged carriage, perhaps shaken but alive. However, this moment of apparent reprieve is tragically short-lived. As the Tsar assesses the situation, a second bomb is hurled towards him, this one detonating with devastating impact. The assassination of Alexander II sent shockwaves throughout Russia and the world. It marked the end of an era, the violent culmination of years of social unrest and revolutionary fervor. Alexander II, known as the Tsar Liberator for his reforms, including the emancipation of the serfs, met a brutal end at the hands of those who sought more radical change. This event highlights the complexities of history, the constant push and pull between those in power and those fighting for a different future. The assassination of Alexander II serves as a stark reminder that progress is rarely a smooth, linear process. It is often marked by violence, sacrifice, and the clash of ideologies. The events of that day in St. Petersburg continue to resonate, reminding us of the fragility of power and the enduring human struggle for freedom and justice. Now let's fast forward to the 20th century, where on March 13, 1930, a young astronomer named Clyde Tombaugh made a discovery that would capture the world's imagination. Tombaugh was working at the Lowell Observatory in Flagstaff, Arizona, tirelessly searching for a mysterious planet X, a hypothetical planet believed to be lurking beyond Neptune. Night after night, he pored over photographic plates, painstakingly comparing images of the night sky, looking for any sign of movement. And then, on that fateful day in March, he spotted it, a tiny faint dot that shifted position ever so slightly from one plate to the next. A new world had been found, the 9th planet in our solar system. The discovery was met with excitement around the globe, but the most thrilling part? Naming this celestial newcomer. The privilege ultimately fell to a young girl from England named Venetia Burney. An astronomy enthusiast, Venetia suggested the name Pluto, after the Roman god of the underworld. The name fit perfectly. This dim and distant world residing in the cold, dark depths of our solar system seemed like a fitting realm for a mythological deity associated with the underworld. For decades, Pluto held a special place in our hearts as the 9th planet, a tiny, icy world at the edge of our cosmic neighborhood. But as our understanding of the solar system evolved, so too did Pluto's classification. In 2006, after much debate, Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet. Despite this demotion, Pluto remains a fascinating world, a reminder that our solar system is full of surprises and that there's still so much we don't know about the vast expanse beyond our planet. March 13, 1933, finds us in the grip of the Great Depression, one of the darkest economic periods in modern history. The United States was reeling from bank failures, widespread unemployment, and a sense of despair that gripped the nation. In the midst of this crisis, a newly inaugurated President Franklin Delano Roosevelt took bold action. Roosevelt declared a national bank holiday, shutting down every bank in the country for 4 days. This unprecedented move was designed to stop the run on banks, which was rapidly depleting the nation's financial reserves. Imagine the uncertainty, the fear, as people across the country wondered if their savings would be there when the banks reopened. During the bank holiday, Roosevelt and his administration worked tirelessly to stabilize the banking system, passing emergency legislation and restoring confidence in the financial sector. Then, on March 13, 1933, the banks reopened. Across the nation, people lined up, not to withdraw their savings in a panic, but to deposit them, a sign that confidence was slowly being restored. The reopening of the banks on March 13 marked a turning point in the Great Depression. It symbolized the beginning of a long and arduous recovery, a testament to the resilience of the American people and the leadership of President Roosevelt. This event reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope. It also underscores the importance of decisive action and the power of collective effort in overcoming seemingly insurmountable challenges. Our next stop takes us to the heart of World War II, March 13, 1943. Adolf Hitler, the dictator whose reign of terror had plunged the world into chaos, was a prime target for those resisting Nazi tyranny. On this day, a group of German officers, desperate to end Hitler's rule, came agonizingly close to changing the course of history. These officers, driven by conscience and a deep-seated belief that Hitler was leading Germany to ruin, devised a daring plan to assassinate the dictator. Their weapon of choice? A bomb, carefully planted on Hitler's plane. The plan seemed foolproof. The bomb was in place, the fuse was set, and Hitler was none the wiser. As the plane took off, the conspirators held their breath, every second stretching into an eternity. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The bomb, for reasons still debated today, failed to detonate. Hitler, oblivious to the danger he had just escaped, disembarked from the plane, his reign of terror tragically extended. The failed assassination attempt on March 13, 1943, stands as a chilling reminder of the fragility of hope in the face of absolute evil. It also highlights the extraordinary courage of those who dared to resist Hitler's regime even when the odds of success seemed impossibly slim. The events of that day serve as a poignant reminder of the human cost of war and the enduring struggle against tyranny. It's a sobering reflection on what might have been, a reminder that history is a tapestry woven from threads of both triumph and tragedy. Chapter 7. Shifting our focus to Southeast Asia, we arrive at March 13, 1954, the start of the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, a pivotal moment in the First Indochina War. This battle, fought between the French forces and the Viet Minh, would have far-reaching consequences, shaping the future of Vietnam and the balance of power in Southeast Asia. Imagine the scene: Dien Bien Phu, a remote valley in northwestern Vietnam, surrounded by heavily forested hills. The French, seeking to cut off Viet Minh supply lines and draw them into a decisive battle, had established a heavily fortified base in the valley. They believed their superior firepower and strategic positioning would ensure victory. However, they had underestimated the determination and tactical ingenuity of the Viet Minh forces, led by the brilliant General Vo Nguyen Giap. The Viet Minh, utilizing a network of hidden paths and employing innovative tactics, managed to surround the French base and bring heavy artillery to bear on their positions. What followed was a grueling 57-day siege, marked by intense fighting, heavy casualties, and unimaginable hardship on both sides. The French, despite their initial confidence, found themselves outmaneuvered and outgunned. Their base, once thought to be impregnable, was slowly being strangled by the Viet Minh. The fall of Dien Bien Phu on May 7, 1954, sent shockwaves throughout the world. It marked a decisive defeat for the French and effectively ended their colonial rule in Indochina. The Battle of Dien Bien Phu was more than just a military engagement. It was a turning point in the history of Vietnam, paving the way for the country's independence and the eventual reunification of North and South Vietnam. Chapter 8. March 13, 1988, marks one of the darkest days in modern history, a chilling reminder of the human capacity for cruelty. On this day, the Iraqi regime, led by Saddam Hussein, unleashed a horrific chemical weapons attack on the Kurdish town of Halabja in northern Iraq. Imagine, if you can, the terror of that day. Halabja, a town nestled in a valley, home to thousands of Kurdish civilians, came under a sudden and merciless attack. Iraqi warplanes, under the cover of darkness, dropped bombs laden with a deadly cocktail of chemical agents, including mustard gas and nerve agents, on the unsuspecting population. The effects were immediate and devastating. Men, women, and children, caught completely off guard, choked on the poisonous air, their bodies racked with pain. The streets, once bustling with life, were transformed into a scene of unimaginable horror, littered with the bodies of the dead and dying. The Halabja chemical attack stands as a horrific testament to the brutality of war and the indiscriminate nature of chemical weapons. It serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict and the enduring legacy of pain and suffering that such atrocities leave behind. The events of that day in Halabja continue to haunt the world, a chilling reminder of the dark side of human nature and the urgent need to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. Chapter 9. Let's take a break from the heaviness and turn our gaze upward to the cosmos. On March 13, 1986, humanity witnessed a celestial spectacle. Halley's Comet, a celestial visitor that graces our skies once every 76 years, made its closest approach to Earth. Imagine the excitement as people around the world turned their eyes skyward, eager to catch a glimpse of this icy wanderer. Halley's Comet, named after astronomer Edmund Halley, has been observed for centuries, its appearances documented throughout history. But 1986 marked a special occasion, the first time in the space age that we could study this celestial traveler up close and personal, thanks to a fleet of spacecraft dispatched to greet our icy visitor. The images sent back were breathtaking, a glowing nucleus, shrouded in a hazy coma, trailing a magnificent tail that stretched millions of kilometers across the cosmos. Halley's Comet, in all its celestial glory, serves as a reminder of the vastness of the universe and the wonders that lie beyond our planet. It's a humbling experience to realize that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, connected to a cosmos teeming with celestial objects that have been circling the sun for billions of years. So, the next time you gaze up at the night sky, remember that you are looking at a universe filled with wonders, from distant galaxies to icy comets, all part of the grand cosmic tapestry. Chapter 10, A Generation Rises, School Strike for Climate Change. Fast forward to March 13, 2019, a day that witnessed a different kind of global movement, one driven by the urgency of addressing climate change. On this day, inspired by the actions of a young Swedish activist named Greta Thunberg, students around the world walked out of their classrooms and took to the streets, demanding action on climate change. Imagine the scene: millions of students from all walks of life, united by a shared concern for the future of our planet, raising their voices in a powerful chorus demanding change. From the bustling streets of New York City to the remote villages of India, from the heart of London to the shores of Australia, the message was clear: the time for inaction was over. The school strike for climate movement, sparked by Greta Thunberg's solitary protests outside the Swedish parliament, had grown into a global phenomenon, capturing the attention of world leaders and igniting a conversation about climate change on an unprecedented scale. These young activists, armed with scientific facts and unwavering determination, challenged the status quo, demanding that their voices be heard and that their concerns be taken seriously. The school strike for climate on March 13, 2019, marked a turning point in the global climate movement, a testament to the power of youth activism and the growing awareness of the urgent need to address the climate crisis. It serves as a powerful reminder that we all have a role to play in protecting our planet, and that even the smallest of actions can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to join the fight for a more sustainable future. Chapter 11, The Phoenix Lights, a UFO Mystery Endures. Now let's venture into the realm of the unexplained, to March 13, 1997, a date etched in UFO lore as the night of the Phoenix Lights. Imagine this: Phoenix, Arizona, the desert sky ablaze with the setting sun. As darkness descends, thousands of people across the city and surrounding areas witness something extraordinary, a series of lights forming a V-shaped pattern, moving silently across the sky. These lights, unlike anything anyone had ever seen, sparked a wave of excitement and speculation. Were they flares, weather balloons, or something more extraordinary, evidence of extraterrestrial visitors? The Phoenix Lights, as they came to be known, remain one of the most well-documented and puzzling UFO sightings in history. Despite numerous investigations and explanations, the true nature of the Phoenix Lights remains a mystery. Some dismiss it as a case of mistaken identity, attributing the lights to military flares or other conventional phenomena. Others, however, believe that the Phoenix Lights represent something truly extraordinary, a glimpse into a realm beyond our understanding. Whether you're a die-hard believer in extraterrestrial life or a skeptical observer, the Phoenix Lights offer a fascinating case study in the enduring allure of the unknown. It reminds us that there are still mysteries in our world, phenomena that defy easy explanation, sparking our imaginations and challenging us to consider the possibility that we may not be alone in the universe. Chapter 12, A New Era for the Church, Pope Francis takes the helm. Our final stop on this journey through time takes us to March 13, 2013, a day that marked a historic turning point for the Catholic Church. On this day, Cardinal Jorge Mario Bergoglio of Argentina was elected Pope, taking the name Francis. The election of Pope Francis was a watershed moment for the Catholic Church. He was the first Pope from the Americas, the first Jesuit Pope, and the first to choose the name Francis, in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi, known for his humility, simplicity, and commitment to the poor. From the moment he stepped onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Pope Francis captivated the world with his warmth, humility, and message of compassion. He broke with tradition, choosing to live in a more modest apartment, washing the feet of prisoners, and embracing those often marginalized by society. Pope Francis's papacy has been marked by a focus on social justice, interfaith dialogue, and a renewed emphasis on the Church's mission to serve the poor and marginalized. His election marked a new chapter in the history of the Catholic Church, one characterized by a spirit of openness, dialogue, and a commitment to addressing the challenges of the 21st century. Pope Francis's papacy serves as a reminder that leadership comes in many forms, and that true authority lies in service to others. Outro, until next time, keep exploring. So, there you have it, a whirlwind tour through history, highlighting just a few of the events that have made March 13th a date etched in the annals of time. From groundbreaking discoveries to political upheavals, from artistic triumphs to moments of profound tragedy, March 13th reminds us that history is a tapestry woven from countless threads, each event, each decision, each act of courage or cruelty contributing to the grand narrative of human existence. As we've journeyed through time, we've seen how events, seemingly unconnected, can reveal broader patterns in human history. Our unquenchable thirst for knowledge, our enduring struggle for freedom and justice, our capacity for both great love and unimaginable cruelty. And as we continue to write the story of humanity, let us remember the lessons of the past, striving to create a future where knowledge triumphs over ignorance, where compassion overcomes hatred, and where we, as stewards of this planet, work together to create a better world for all. Join us on this journey through time. Don't forget to like and share.